Good afternoon. My name is Donovan Carter. I'm here with the Samuel Proctor Oral History Program. Today is Saturday, August 28th, 2021, and I'm here with
Dinetta Scott.
Dinetta Scott. Okay, so thank you, Ms. Scott, for being here, firstly. Secondly, I want to ask you about why you're here today. So, could you tell me about that?
I'm here representing my son, Sergeant James Brown, who was killed by El Paso County Sheriff's Department.
Okay, in El Paso, Texas?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So tell me more about your son. Tell me about Sergeant James Brown. Tell me about him.
Very creative young man, active. Knew he wanted to be in the military since he was like 3 years old. Always said he was going to be a soldier, a leader, very loyal. By no means perfect, but you know, your average teenager. Dirt bikes, you name it, he did it. He just lived life to the fullest. When he was 17, he was involved in a near fatal motorcycle accident, so it kind of delayed him going into the military. So he went into the military when he turned a year later. He was 19 instead of 18 right out of high school like he wanted to. Served 2 tours in Iraq, came home, was stationed in Washington, met his wife, got married, started a family, and he got stationed in El Paso, Texas, at Fort Bliss. He was diagnosed with PTSD, and he was struggling with alcoholism. And so he self-checked himself into a program to get some help for the alcoholism and the PTSD. And right before he left for this program, unfortunately, he was in like a rear end accident, and he rear-ended him, but he wasn't legal, so he got what's called a DWI, driving while intoxicated. So he, fought that, and he got it down to where he could serve a weekend in county. Well, basically they said 7 days, but minus time served. So the 2 days he served, so 3 days in county. He checked in on a Friday night at approximately 7:45. He was supposed to report at 8. Excuse me. So he reported at 7:45. The next time I heard from him was Saturday morning. He called and he said, "Mom," he said, "they're, trying to make me stay 7 days." He said, I have to report for duty. Can you just send me the money to, make sure that I could pay it and get out, so that I'll be able to go to work on Monday." So I sent him the money. I tried calling because he asked the guard while I was on the phone, is that the right amount? And so I called the bail bonds company who connected us because he couldn't call me directly. And they said, call booking and call information, and they should be able to let you know. So I called for about 4 hours straight, just trying to get somebody. I finally got somebody in booking, and they told me, well, we don't have that information. You need to contact information. So I did that. I didn't hear anything for a couple of hours, and then I finally got a call from my daughter-in-law stating that he was in the hospital, that they said he became combative, and they gave him an injection, and that they found him on the floor, face down on a mattress, where he shouldn't be on a mattress or in a cell by himself. He was in a holding cell. Then they said that they were walking him and he collapsed. And so, none of that made sense to us. And it's like, well, why is he in the hospital if that happened? So I got the number to the doctor at the hospital. At this time, I was living in San Antonio, Texas, and my son was in El Paso. So I got a hold of the doctor, and he was like, he came in, he was kind of coherent, and he just started seizing, and we had to intubate him. And he's bleeding from every orifice. We cannot stop this bleeding. And I was like, is that an adverse effect to the injection that they gave him? And the doctor's like, no, for what they said they gave him, there shouldn't have been a reaction, not to this magnitude. So I said, I'm on my way. So I drove from San Antonio to El Paso. When I got there, they had tried dialysis to stop the blood, from flowing, to clot it, but it wouldn't clot in his body, only in the machines, which it made no sense. So when I got to him, he was on a ventilator. He was non-responsive. He had blood coming from his eyes, his ears. I mean, just anywhere that it could escape, the blood was escaping. But they couldn't explain why and, what was going to stop it. And so they were trying different things to stop the bleeding. Finally, at about 9 a.m. that morning, because when I got there, it was 3:30 in the morning. By 9 a.m., they were trying a process which is called pheresis, which takes the blood from the body and it separates it and cleans it and then puts it back in your body to get it to start clotting. And in that process, when they started it, his heart stopped. And so they had to bring him back. So at that point, they had brought us in and was letting us know, what was going on. And they didn't bring enough blood. So they were trying to get more blood, and he coded again. And that's when they escorted us out of the room. And that's when he passed away. So moving forward, we got an attorney. It took us 2.5 years to get the video released from him being incarcerated that weekend. The video has been doctored. It has been tampered with because there's time spaces missing. And I myself have not watched the video. From what I've been told, I should never watch it because that's not the image I want of my son, or me watching my son beg for his life, I'm sorry.
No, take your time.
So once the video was released, then everybody's like, wanting to, we need to settle, we need to, and it's like, we've been going through this for 2.5 years trying to get this released, and now things are missing. You see what they've done, and you can't hold them accountable for this, It's like, we're in America, this was a soldier. Where's the military in this? That was your soldier. How come you're not saying what went wrong here? So it took us 2 months to get his autopsy report. And on there, the medical examiner said he died from a sickle cell crisis. My son did not have sickle cell. He couldn't have served in the military having sickle cell. They did not do an autopsy on him like they were supposed to, an extensive one like the doctor requested, because he wanted different tox screens and things like that. They didn't do that. So basically they settled, and it's like we have all these questions that we can't get answered. And me being his mother, they don't want to talk to me because he was married. So it's like, what do I do? My son deserves justice. His daughter deserves justice. When he was killed, he left behind a mother, wife, stepson, daughter. What justice do we get, for that? These men are still going, went to work every day. One of the sheriffs that retired came forward afterwards and said that it never should have occurred. The incident never should have happened. And yet nothing's being done about it.
I'm so sorry to hear this story. Thank you for sharing. I'm going to ask you some difficult questions.
Okay.
So I just want for clarification. The date of your son's birth.
July 15th, 2012.
And last question, easier. What do you want the world to know about your son, James?
That he was a soldier, a warrior, and a fighter, and he didn't deserve any of this. He deserved to raise his daughter and his stepson. He deserved to be a part of their life and a part of mine. And tragically, El Paso took his life, and he's no longer here to share that with us.
My baby.